If you're one of the 40 million people who have now read the novel The Da Vinci Code, you might be forgiven for thinking that the Catholic group Opus Dei is a murderous, secretive cult. And yet the group supposedly counts presidents and politicians among its 85,000 members. So what is fact and what is fiction? My guest today is Opus Dei's UK spokesman. Jack Valero, welcome to Hardtalk.
Thank you. Hello.
Now, why would someone want to become a member of Opus Dei?
Well, Opus Dei has a very simple message. It's a part of the Catholic Church, and it helps people to find God in their ordinary lives at work and at home. So it says to people, you don't need to be a pope or a bishop or a monk to be a saint. Anybody can be a saint, wherever you are. It's open to everybody. So that work that you do every day, day after day, the same work, can have a very deep meaning in the eyes of God, and therefore your life can have a much greater spiritual meaning. And that's why people who are Catholic and who want to live a spirituality and are very, very busy with work or with family find that attractive.
But there are existing structures within the church that people know what the religion is, they can go to their priest. Why use Opus Dei as well? Sure,
the Catholic Church is a very big church, 1 billion people, and therefore it has many groups and many spiritualities. Opus Dei is just one of them, and it just helps people in that particular way to encourage them, to give them the support and guidance they need to live out their faith to the full through their ordinary work in their daily life, not just today, not just tomorrow, but every day, giving them this guidance.
But as an institution, it owns and runs universities, schools, publishing houses, it has businesses. What is its ultimate ambition?
It doesn't have any businesses, but it does. Its members have started lots of educational and social ventures around the world, like many other Catholic organizations. And those are ventures that are meant to improve the world, because that's what people feel they need to do. But those are initiatives of the members. Opus Dei as an organization is really concerned about the spiritual life of people. You know, it's helping individual people find God where they are. So it does. The members have got together and started universities and schools in all those countries that you've mentioned. And that is a means to help people to do social work, to get the message out. But really Opus Dei is this.
To do Catholic work?
Yes, it's part of the Catholic Church, so it teaches the Catholic faith to people and helps them to live it out.
We'll come back to what it means for individuals, these various schools and universities. But in terms of what it means to be a member, what's the process to becoming a member of Opus Dei?
Well, if you come across Opus Dei through a friend or through the web or whatever way, or through Dan Brown, you can come along to activities. If you find that this spirituality helps you, then you can ask for admission. Anybody can ask for admission. Any Catholic who is over 18, who is not already committed as a monk or a religious or a priest or something, any lay person, a Catholic, can ask to be admitted.
And how long does the process take?
And then you have 18 months of training period before you can make any commitment. And then that commitment gets renewed every year for a few years before you can join for life. But that's because we want people in Opus Dei to be sure that this is the path for them.
So
we don't want anybody to be there just because by inertia, because they found themselves there, or by force or anything. We want people to be there freely. So that's why it takes quite a long time to get in there. And
so somebody who says I'm a member of Opus Dei has gone through 5 years.
Yes, at least.
Of an app. And sure. We hear of numeraries and supernumeraries.
Yes.
What does that mean?
Well, most of the members of Opus Dei are supernumeraries who are married, about 3/4 of the membership, and then 1/4 are celibate, like myself. And
that means you're a numerary?
Yes, I'm a numerary. Well, there's numeraries and associates. They are the celibate members. But the celibate members, the numeraries, their function is to give the support and guidance to the other members. So we feel called to celibacy by God. So we respond to that call from God to the celibate life. And we dedicate our life to this, to helping out other people, to running the organization, to running the activities, and giving the support and guidance to the other members to carry out that function, which is to find God in their ordinary lives. So we give them talks, we run retreats, courses, and things like that. And that's what the numeraries do.
But it sounds exactly like the role of a priest. Why didn't you become a priest, which the process that takes as long?
because Opus Dei is all about lay people in the world. This is what I said at the beginning, that Opus Dei comes to say you don't need to be a priest or a monk or a bishop to be a saint. You know, everybody in the Catholic Church is called to be a saint.
Yes, I know, but your job is, as you say, you are celibate, and your job, your role appears to be guiding other Catholics to be...
Yes, but numerous also are like ordinary people who go to work, have their own jobs and so on. I mean, now I'm working in communications in Opus Dei, but I only have been doing this, you know, for a couple of years. Before that, some years ago, I used to run a software company. So numerous have their own jobs like everyone else. They're ordinary people in the world, and in their spare time, they help the other members.
And they also have to wear a cilice, is it pronounced?
A cilice. You want to talk about Corporal Mortification?
Yes, tell us about Corporal Mortification, because this is one of the things that came out of Dan Brown's Da Vinci Code book, which has been picked up on a lot, which is what you call Corporal Mortification.
Yes, it has to be put in context. I mean, as a Catholic, as a Christian, there are those three aspects to life. You know, there's prayer, fasting, and good works. And they're all important. And on the area of fasting or self-denial, which is part of the Christian life, because Opus Dei is all about God in the world, God in ordinary life, the kind of mortifications we advise people to do, and we recommend, we encourage them to do, are little things, you know, like get up when the alarm clock rings, so be nice to your husband, your wife, not have the last word in a conversation, smile when you're tired. These kind of sacrifices are the sacrifices that we promote in the Christian life. Now, there are also in the Catholic Church some traditional sacrifices that people have done through the ages, like walking barefoot, fasting, which we don't do very much of, but wearing her shirt, you know, of which the cilice is a derivative, a very small thing you wear at the top of your leg.
Well, let's make clear what it is. It's a spiked chain that you wear around your thigh.
Well, yes, it's not. It's a bit of metal that it's uncomfortable that you wear. That doesn't cut the skin. I don't suppose you've got one on you. No, of course not. No, it's uncomfortable. It causes discomfort, but it doesn't cut the skin or produce any blood. No, or produce any blood or anything. I mean, in fact, if you've read the Da Vinci Code, then all I can say to you is that is not it. Okay, but let me tell you something that's important, because it's not so much that's a very small thing. It's not as much as going to the gym or doing a workout. I think what's the important thing here is, why would one do something like this?
Exactly.
Right? That's the important thing, because the thing itself is very small. But and I have friends who do much more difficult things, like going to the gym or preparing for running a marathon or keeping in shape and things like this. But I do these things. I do a sacrifice for God, you know. And this is a different kind of motivation. It's a bit like, I remember
what is it though? Why would you wear something that causes you discomfort?
Well, this is the kind of motivation that I was talking about, because in the Catholic Church we call this technical term the communion of saints, whereby I can say a prayer for you, and you can benefit from that, because there's a connection between us if we're Catholics or if we're Christians, right? And so I can also do a sacrifice that benefits you, because I offer it to God.
But if you wear, because it's not just wearing a spiked chain or thong around your leg. The other thing that numerals do is they self-flagellate.
That's even less. That's a little scourge made of cotton. But
what do you mean? Hold on. A little scourge made of cotton? It's what? It's knotted cord. It's a whip.
Yeah, it's very small, but it's
a whip.
The important thing is that it is symbolic. Yeah.
Does it cause you pain?
Discomfort.
Pain.
The same. Pain. The other thing that...
No. People have read about this, and they are curious, and they see this organisation that they know nothing about, and they hear these things, and so everyone is curious to know exactly
what it is. How do you define pain? I'm saying it causes discomfort. It's less than a workout in a gym. I can tell you this. It is a small discomfort that you offer it to God. It's symbolic. It's symbolic.
Symbolic of what? Why go through the pain?
Symbolic for two reasons. One is that to atone for any sins, but more importantly, I think to get the moral fibre, because you are faced with decisions all your life that you have to say no to, and people need the moral fibre and that kind of sacrifice, self-denial. But it has to be done in moderation. This is the important thing, that everything is done in Opus Dei.
But you talked about a connection. Why, if one person whips themselves, does it make them feel connected to somebody else who does?
No, it's a sacrifice that you offer to God. it's like when I went to see the film The Passion of the Christ. This is and this is related, a story related to that. Is I came out of the cinema and a friend of mine asked me, what kind of a God is this that you believe in that demands such gruesome sacrifice from a human being before you can redeem? But I thought that was the wrong question. You know, the right question is, what kind of a God is this who is ready to undergo such sacrifice for love of me? So somehow there is a dimension to offering sacrifices. And I'm saying these are not the important sacrifices, because in Opus Dei, the sacrifices that are important, that are done all the time, are the little things of each day.
Okay, but why beat yourself? Why whip yourself? Why does it make you a better person?
It's a kind of sacrifice that's been traditional in the church for many centuries, and many people do it. The reason you know it is that Opus Dei is such an open organization.
Opus Dei is not an open organisation. Opus Dei has been immensely secretive organisation, and that is what many people have a problem with. It's in your constitution to say no one must reveal to anyone else that they themselves belong to Opus Dei.
That's not in the constitution. That was, I think, in a previous document. Opus Dei has gone through various approvals in the Catholic Church, and it got to a point where, in the 1950s, where it had to be the founder was looking for a solution to be approved in the Catholic Church, and there wasn't one, and so he was meant to, some sort of legal wrapping was made for Opus Dei, which he didn't like. So he didn't want people to go around saying what we were. But as soon as the legal solution was sorted out in 1982, that whole thing was dropped. Now, I'm saying open because it's you can go to any shop and buy a book about Opus Dei, and you can know exactly what my life is like, how much I pray, what sacrifices I do, what I do in life. Everything about Opus Dei is absolutely known.
And can you tell me,
it's the most known organisation in the world.
Because you are a numerary, is it mandatory that you have to self-flagellate?
Nothing is mandatory in Opus Dei. Everything is up to the freedom of the individual. We're adults in Opus Dei. You know, you get advice to read a book.
Can you be a senior person in Opus Dei and not wear a spiked band around your neck?
Of course.
And not fast?
Yes. Fasting. We only fast on Good Friday and Ash Wednesday, like all the other Catholics.
And not self-flagellate?
Yes, of course you can. But all these matters are matters of choice because we're adults.
Because one of the things that have made many people suspicious of it is that you have a situation, and this is unlike in a sense much of the monastic tradition of hair shirts and self-flagellation, is that you have a hierarchy where an individual is being supervised in the way that they are doing it and feels pressured in perhaps an all-male youth hostel, feels obliged to get involved in these practices. And that is what there are various groups of people who are former members saying.
Okay, well that isn't true. There is no supervision. People do the things they want to do because they want to do them. And if they don't want to do them, they don't do them. People do things freely. So that's a completely wrong picture of what Opus Dei is.
So why is it that Cardinal Basil Hume banned the group from recruiting people who are under 18? Well,
he didn't ban it. He said that people should not make a commitment before the age of 18.
Why is that?
No, because in the former Code of Canon Law in the Catholic Church, the minimum age to join an organisation in the church was 16. And then it changed to 18 in the Code of Canon Law in the Catholic Church in 1983. So he, in 1981, said, well, in my diocese, it'll be 18. This is before the church changed.
His particular concern was because of the various practices of Opus Dei, the corporal mortification.
He wasn't concerned about corporal mortification. Definitely he wasn't concerned about that. He was a monk. He knew all about it.
But was he not concerned of perhaps domination of sadomasochism among young men?
No, because in these practices in Opus Dei are very moderated, and he definitely wasn't concerned about corporal mortification. However, I can tell you that he didn't know Opus Dei very well when he started, and he gave these guidelines, and he said specifically, these are not a criticism of Opus Dei at all. So you have to read it in that context. Later, as he got to know Opus Dei better, he became much more friendly. Towards the end of his life, he celebrated the 70th anniversary Mass for the members of Opus Dei, and he was very friendly there and saying how much he admired the founder and the work that we were doing, etc.
What does Opus Dei say about homosexuality?
Well, Opus Dei doesn't have any doctrine of its own on any matter other than Catholic doctrine. We just follow mainstream Catholic doctrine.
Which is that homosexual sex is a sin.
Which is that that sex is for marriage, and marriage is between a man and a woman. And sex outside of marriage is sinful. The act as sinful.
Because one of the things that has concerned some people in Britain is that one of the cabinet secretary, Ruth Kelly, has admitted that she's a member of Opus Dei, and she has the job of being the government's guardian of gay rights.
Right.
And given that we have no idea what she thinks about gay sex, we do know that she's missed 12 votes on gay issues. And there will be many gay men and women who might think, well, how is she going to protect my rights if the organisation Opus Dei, of which she's a member, believes this?
Well, how? I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to make any comment about any individual person, right? So obviously we don't speak for Ruth Kelly, and she has her own press office to deal with questions, you know. Opus Dei doesn't respond for Ruth Kelly, nor vice versa. How? It's a good question. I think it has to be discussed. How is she going to safeguard these rights, you know, whatever.
There is a contradiction, isn't there?
I don't know. No, because what you're saying is if you are a Catholic, there are some jobs you cannot do. I think that's a very dangerous thing to say.
I think if the Opus Dei is all about extending your Catholicity
but it isn't. Opus Dei
into your work life and your everyday life. That is what you said at the outset.
Yes, Opus Dei is all about becoming a saint in your work and therefore witnessing to that. But that witness is not aggressive. It's just your life.
But the point is, it's a Catholic version, and whilst that might be fine for people who support Catholic beliefs, there are plenty of others who believe different things and who feel it is perhaps their right to know what people who are setting laws in their country feel about them.
Sure, but everybody has their beliefs, don't they? I mean, we're all entitled to our beliefs. I mean, Catholics can get involved in public life. You're not suggesting that Catholics cannot do those jobs.
No, but it brings me back to this point about the secretive nature.
But we're not
Opus
secretive
Dei.
at all, and we don't hold any beliefs.
Would you recommend anybody, if, as it's been suggested, that the Colombian president Alvaro Uribe is a member of Opus Dei?
I don't know whether he is or he isn't.
But would you advise him? Look, say you're a member if you are.
Say you're a member. He can do what he likes. Everybody in Opus Dei is free to do what they like.
But do you think that
everybody
they should say?
in Opus Dei,
because then it would dispel this idea that it is secretive. Because there are other suggestions. There's been a suggestion the various American senators, including Sam Brownback, influential people, are members of Opus Dei, but people don't know for sure.
I don't think they are members, but I don't think they are members, but I don't know. And really, what I've said to you is that...
Why do you say that?
I don't think they are members. I haven't heard they are members. But in fact, everybody's free. I mean, members of Opus Dei they don't join in order to tell the media that they're in Opus Dei. You know, they join for personal reasons, and they live their life according to the Catholic faith, and all their friends and contacts around them know that they're in Opus Dei. So there isn't any secrecy there. Then whether they feel they must tell the media as well, that's a different question.
But if they're in public life,
people are free. Obviously.
And if they stand for office, and they put everything else out about them, their beliefs.
Right.
Is it not relevant, given the nature of the organisation?
Yeah. Could be, yeah. I mean,
It must be. I mean, by its very nature, it must be relevant.
Ruth Kelly has said that she attends Opus Dei activities, that she's a very devout Catholic. Everything about her, you already know. You already know the parameters. So what else would you like to know? But how much prayer she does?
No. We've moved on from Ruth Kelly. The point is, it's the question of whether there are others. Because of the statement that I quoted to you earlier, which you say was from an old document, which is that no member should say that they are a member.
That's the complete opposite of the case now.
So the case now is, if you're a member, say you are.
Well, if you don't say you are a member to the people around you, then it will be very difficult to fulfill your role as to living out your Catholic faith in public and being a witness to the people around you. But that's different from telling the media, though.
Part of your role is also to get other people to join, isn't it? Because, I mean, as the
founder... To inspire other people, because people only join... We believe people only join because they are called by God. So it's a vocational call. And therefore, I don't call anybody. God calls people, and they join because they want to.
And yet the founder, Jose Maria Escriva, said you must kill yourself for proselytism.
Yes, but this is an analogy in terms of praying very much and working hard to make the message known and so on. It doesn't mean forcing anyone or forcing anything down anybody's throat. You know, people are free. Freedom is the main wrapping of this, you know.
Because there's a group called the Opus Dei Awareness Network, an organisation specifically set up to support people who, in their words, have been adversely affected by Opus Dei. And they say that some of your recruitment methods, you deliberately target people.
Okay, well, let me tell you that former members, the vast majority of former members, 90% or more, are happy with Opus Dei, or at least indifferent. There's a very small number who are bitter about their experience. Now, I accept their experience. Their experience is valid because they had a bad experience, and I'm very sorry about that. And in as far as it relates to anything that anybody in Opus Dei did, I would like to ask for forgiveness for that, right?
Do you think Opus Dei had problems in the past?
I don't know. If somebody tells me I had a very unhappy time in Opus Dei, then therefore that's a problem to me. I would like there not to be any problems. But another thing you can see if you look at that information that you've been researching is that the people who left Opus Dei who are bitter about their experience left a long time ago. You know, there are very
so it did have problems, but a long time ago.
That I think that if you want to know about the Labour Party, you don't go around asking Dennis Healey what it was like. You ask Tony Blair. You know, so you need to find out what Opus Dei is like today, not 20 years ago, not 25 years ago.
There'll be plenty of people in the Labour Party who might disagree with you. Will you go and see the film with the Da Vinci Code?
Yes, we're going to go tonight and for the press screening, and then we're going to let people know what we think.
What are you expecting? Might you enjoy it?
I think it'll be hard to enjoy it if you know that, there's been a survey recently to say that a significant number of people are going to believe this because a significant number of readers have believed the main thrust of the book, and therefore knowing that it's highly insulting to Opus Dei or to the Catholic Church, and that some people are going to believe it and not just take it as complete fiction, is going to make it slightly harder to enjoy.
But are you surprised at the way the Vatican has reacted, various senior members of the Catholic Church?
I think there's been a huge range of reaction. I mean, you may know that Opus Dei's reaction has been very positive, to take this as an opportunity to talk about ourselves and to say that the real Opus Dei has nothing to do with the Opus Dei of the Da Vinci Code, and come and see that we have nothing to hide. Come and meet real members, today's members of Opus Dei, and see what it's like, experience. We are having a lot of interest. We're getting, in the UK alone, 50 emails a month from people who wish to join Opus Dei. This, for an organisation which only has 500 members in the UK, is quite significant.
So do you think it's been good for you?
Well, it's interesting, isn't it, that somehow out of this horrible thing, some good has come out, you know?
And yet it sounds from some senior figures that they're really rather rattled by it, talking of we can't just forgive and forget.
Yes. I don't know. I wouldn't like to comment on any particular reaction of people, but I mean, the Opus Dei reaction has been positive, and this has moved many people to come and see what we're doing.
Jack Valero, thank you for coming on Hardtalk.
Thank you.